Welcome back, sporting fans, to another spectacular episode of the Paint the Wall podcast. I, as always, am your host, Steve, and I am joined this week by a man who thinks keyboards should be alphabetical, but you all know him as Logan.
Well, it just makes far more sense.
I mean, it does if they were always like that. But
Right.
we can't just change it now because we've all learned how to type.
No, you'll learn again.
I mean, I guess, yeah. That'd be a hard thing to change in your brain, you know?
Yeah. Change is hard, but it's better.
I'm sure you did the back in the 5th grade, you guys had the rubber keyboard covers that when you had to take your test that would make the keyboards blank.
Here's what will make you laugh. I'm very aware of what you're referring to. Do you know what solution our school used instead? Boxers.
Okay, that's interesting.
They would take the boxers, like the waistband would go around the keyboard and your hands would go through the leg holes.
Oh.
It totally worked.
Yeah, I bet.
But it was so jank. I'm like, what are we doing?
Yeah, that's weird. We just had the covers.
Yeah. Like every other school on the planet ever had.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I know exactly what you're talking about, but we did not have them.
Huh. Weird. I wonder if they still have keyboarding class in school.
You'd have to think so.
I don't know any 5th graders that don't know how to type just from being on YouTube all day anyway.
That is true.
So I wonder if it's like they already know it. They don't really need to teach it in school anymore, you know?
Maybe. I don't know, but maybe it's just getting them the right form and I don't know. Because I'm sure there's plenty of kids out there who have just learned how to hut and peck type fast.
There's plenty of adults that still do that.
That's true. My uncle, he types at 50 words a minute, hut and peck typing.
Interesting.
Yeah, it is wild to watch him do it.
Yeah.
So, anywho.
Huh. Well, frankly, I'd rather talk about this.
Yeah.
For an entire episode.
Yeah.
But I guess we should get this sporting garbage out of the way real quick.
Yeah. I'm regretting changing our podcast from the talk report upload.
Yeah, right. I'd rather have our random talk about whatever we want. But you know what? In today's case, we're recording on a Wednesday, and the Royals play in 30 minutes, so a short episode will be nice. So, game 2, of course.
Yep.
Here's hoping we get a dub.
Yeah.
Go play the Yankees.
Yeah. They already know.
What?
Everybody listening already knows.
Oh yeah, good point.
They know before you do.
Everybody will know because it's not up. It's not up until tomorrow morning. So yeah, when you guys are listening to this, you'll already know if we're playing the Yankees or not.
Yeah, they know and you don't, so they kind of know before you do. Almost.
Actually, that's not true. If we lose tonight, they won't know either.
That's a good point. That is
because game 3 is tomorrow night. So
they will know the result of tonight's game before.
Yes, they will know that. So, all right, fair enough.
If you don't think about it.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's start with our loss in the Open Cup final.
Yeah.
A loss that arguably shouldn't have been a loss.
Yeah.
Of course, we were talking about our 3-1 loss in LAFC.
Yeah.
Thoughts on that one? I wonder what we're going to focus on.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to, in a game like soccer, it's very hard to look at a single call and think that, oh, that is the call that changed the game. It's really hard to not look at this and look at that. We're referring to the goal that LAFC scored in regulation. I think it was the 54th minute.
That sounds right.
53rd minute, Olivier Giroud. But I mean, listen, you know, go watch it if you haven't watched it. But he was offsides. When you and I watched it in real time, our both immediate reaction was, I don't know how that's on offsides. We watched the review. We immediately both said that was offsides. And then when they I can't remember the name of the Twitter, I should probably remember that, but the geometry guy who goes and draws lines and uses math and all that shit, he confirmed it was offsides. Now, granted, because of the angle, it was very hard to see, but we have to get a better VAR technology here. Whether it's the system that England uses, with the automated stuff where, your mustache can make you offsides. Listen, I don't care. I'm all about consistency. I just want the same to be applied everywhere. So if it's an automated system that's crazy, super duper harsh, I don't care. We have to get more automated about this because something as black and white as VAR, there shouldn't be discretion applied to it. We should just know if they're offsides or not.
Yeah, I agree. Now, are you are talking about, because you were just saying he? Are you referring to Giroud or Bogus being offsides?
Bogus in the build-up.
Okay. Yeah, that was who was primarily offsides. As far as Giroud being offsides, honestly, I don't really. It's hard for me to believe that he isn't offsides because he was like 6 feet offsides, but he was working his way back. So, and to me, they didn't really show a good enough replay to show if he actually touched back to an onside position before the ball was passed. But it shouldn't have mattered because the Bogus, I think is how you say his last name. He was offsides on the pass out to him anyway. That should have been blown dead there.
For me, the Giroud thing is a little more touchy because for me, that conversation consists around, he was very clearly offsides at a point in the build-up. When did he influence the play? And by my understanding of the definition, which you take this as you will, but my understanding of the definition is that if you're pulling a defender or if you're making the goalie have to play you in an offsides position, you're affecting the play. And in my opinion, before Giroud potentially reestablished, again, we didn't get a great view of it, but before he potentially reestablished himself as onside, he was pulling Melia. He was pulling Melia to have to defend him. Melia was having to react to him being there and potentially try to stop a shot from him. And so, in my opinion, like, even if he did reestablish himself before he scored the goal, he still influenced the play when he was in an offsides position.
True, but then he reestablished onsides, if he did, before the ball was played to him, which negates it beforehand.
That doesn't matter. If you influence the play when you're in an offsides position, before he reestablished himself onsides, potentially, he was in an offsides position and influenced the play. At that point, it should have been offsides at that point anyway. Again, that is where offsides can get a little judgmental because subjective. I'm sorry, because it can be, did he influence the play? In my mind, he did, but even still, the buildup of play was offsides. That should have been called from the beginning anyway.
And even before that, as Eric, Tommy, and Peter pointed out in the post game, there was a foul on Tommy in the buildup before the offsides even happened anyway.
Exactly.
So that should have been blown a foul. He should have been offsides. Giroud probably should have been offsides. But I think the overwhelming point, to your point, is that we have VAR that is supposed to be able to go back and make these wrong decisions right. And in this case, they looked at it and didn't fix it, and that doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah.
So, and in this case, and like you said at the beginning, it's hard to know what exactly would happen if that doesn't get called, because if that's not a goal, potentially, butterfly effect. If that doesn't happen, the entire rest of the game changes. Maybe we don't actually score that goal.
Right.
In the quick transition that we did.
Yep.
Maybe we don't actually score that goal.
Right. We don't score that goal. They score 7 more goals.
Yeah.
You never know, but
there's no telling. But it's hard to look at it and go, well, it was 1-1 at the end of full time, and that goal shouldn't have counted. So, it's hard to look at that. And then you go into extra time, and they score 2 on just honestly two good plays.
Yeah.
The Campos' goal is a factor of tired legs, I think.
Yeah, for sure.
He was fresh. He had just got subbed in, and our defense was on tired legs and just couldn't quite recover fast enough. He put up a good shot.
Yeah.
Not much you can do, really.
Yeah. I mean, as much as we looked like, I wouldn't say we looked like the better team for 90 minutes. There was definitely a lot of time that we did look like the better team. We looked good enough to win that game.
We looked like whether we looked like the better team or not, we looked like the team that was going to win.
Yeah.
Pretty much the whole game, I thought, except for in extra time.
Right. As soon as we started extra time, things fell apart.
Yeah. But I agree. We looked like, whether we were the better team or not, we looked like we were who was going to win, because the chances were falling our way. Our defense kept stepping up. Kyrie Shelton played out of his mind.
Yeah.
He really locked down Bouanga to the point where they switched sides and Bouanga went to the other side because he couldn't get around Kyrie.
Yeah.
I know the Kai Kamara goal came against Kyrie. Kyrie was defending Kai Kamara, but I think what really was happening there is somebody who is, first of all, has just played 120 or 109 minutes at that point.
Yeah.
And is new to the defender position against somebody who has been an attacker in the MLS for, what is it, 63 years, something like that?
Yeah, somewhere right around there.
So has a little bit of experience. He made a good move. It was a good cross. He just made a good deke, I guess, for a hockey term, with hockey starting here pretty soon. A good deke around Kyrie and put it in the goal.
Yeah.
And
you are also talking about the second leading goal scorer of MLS history.
Yeah, of all time, in all of MLS.
Yeah. So, that's a lot to ask out of anybody, especially somebody who's already run 120 minutes.
Yeah.
And oh, by the way, here comes Kai Kamara.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So like
there, but
and at that point, like, we were sticking, like, defenders were getting stuck on islands because we're pushing so far forward, just trying to get anything to happen. I always hate games that, like, it ends 3-1, and it's like, nah, like, this game was very different. Like, this wasn't a 2-loss goal game. We were just throwing everything we could. So that's, to me, that's a garbage time touchdown, to steal the phrase. It's not really relevant to the score of the game. Or to the story of the game.
Yep, I agree. Let's see. Just a couple little notes from after the game, and then we can go talk about the toasted raviolis for the absolute smallest amount of time. I already know the answer to this, but I'm assuming you did not watch the medal ceremony.
No, I did not.
I didn't think so. I was like, I wonder if Logan's watching it. I'm like, who he kidding? He probably didn't even watch extra time.
I did watch extra time. I did stay awake for it.
There you go.
Yeah, but no, not the moment the final whistle blew, I was done.
Yeah. So I don't understand why Vela got a medal.
Doesn't everybody get a medal?
Sure.
He's on the roster.
As of 2 days ago, prior, he was on the roster.
So
it was weird. It was about a week, I guess. He didn't play. He wasn't even on the roster for any other game of the U.S. Open Cup.
Sure.
And then he was eligible to play in that final because he didn't play for any other team during the Open Cup.
Yeah.
So his eligibility was still there.
It
was just weird. Yes, you're right. Everybody on the roster gets a medal, but it's just weird to me that it's like, why does he get a medal?
No,
he literally was sitting on his couch the last round.
Yeah.
So I'm like, this is shocking, but
that is very valid point. But
yeah.
And
then, not to mention, first of all, do you know who walked the trophy over?
I am assuming, I don't know, like the commissioner of the Open Cup.
Sorry, for Vela's team, for LAFC.
Oh, one of the owners, I'm assuming?
No. It's always the captain. It would be Johnny Russell for us.
Who did what? I'm sorry.
Who walked the trophy over from the platform to the team when they did the trophy lift?
Oh, right. I understand. Okay. I'm sorry. I misunderstood. I was thinking something. I don't even know who the captain was. I have no idea.
Well, prepare our fellow listeners to have your heart ripped out. It was Elie.
Yeah, that's
which is, it's painful to watch Elie walk trophies over for another team.
Yeah.
When my entire life have always wondered why we didn't re-sign him.
Still will.
But before he picked up the trophy, he pointed over and he waved over another player to help him walk the trophy over.
Okay.
And that was Carlos Vela.
It's fine.
So I'm like, not only did he get a medal for a tournament that he didn't play in and wasn't on the team for, but he walked the trophy over to hand it to them. So at that point, I was like, okay, they have to just be trolling at this point. Like they have to just be messing with people.
Maybe.
Like
Yeah.
I'm so confused. Why does he get to walk the trophy over too?
I don't know.
I don't know. It's
yeah.
Just strange.
That one does seem strange. Yes.
It was kind of funny at the same time, but
yeah, I'm with you there.
They did do some. I watched some interviews after the game. They interviewed Kai Kamara, and they asked him about being in Kansas City, starting in Kansas City, and he basically said, "Yeah, I got my start there, but now I'm here, and this is home, and this feels more like home than anywhere."
Well,
during this interview, Kai Kamara had his kids right next to him, so he says, "I'm happy to be in LA. LA feels more like home than anywhere I've ever been." And then immediately says, "I'm also happy to have my kids here who just flew in from Kansas City today." And a lot of people, it wasn't just me in the moment, but a lot of people on Twitter were like, hold on 1 second.
Wait. What?
Nowhere's ever felt more like home than LA, but your kids live in Kansas City? I think maybe Kansas City is a little more meaningful to you than you're letting on right now.
Yeah, no kidding. That's something.
Now I almost wonder if before he got signed with LAFC, complete speculation, there will be no proof of this, but now I almost wonder if he had his agent reach out to Kansas City.
Yeah.
And was like, "Hey, I kind of want to come back to Kansas City and finish my career out." And we told him no.
Maybe.
Yeah, you're too old and blah, blah, blah. So now he's a little bitter.
Right.
Because that just feels like something that, the whole, I've never felt more at home in the 2 weeks that I've been here than I have in LA. Now my kids still live in Kansas City where school hasn't started yet. So actually, I guess school has started, but I don't know. I just thought that was funny.
Yeah, no, that is strange for sure. That is odd.
So now I'm like, wait, did he want to come back to Kansas City? And we told him no. That wouldn't surprise me, even though we probably could have used his help. But
yeah,
that
would have been something.
The only other note I have from this game is that we are clearly doing things wrong. We have this whole youth movement thing that we're trying to do by getting youth players. No, go to Europe and find a bunch of old guys. That is clearly what we need to do to win trophies.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah. We don't need youth players. We don't need an academy. We don't need to build up players. We don't need any of that. Just go to Europe, buy a bunch of European old guys that can't play in the Prem anymore, and we'll win trophies. Easy.
Right. Yeah. But see, the problem. Well, but you have one flaw in that plan, is that takes money.
Yeah, sure does.
That we don't want to pay.
It sure does. That's true. All right, well, let's very quickly talk about this other dumb game that we played in.
Yeah, might as well.
We also lost 3-1 to St. Louis in St. Louis.
Yeah.
I'm just really getting tired of losing in St. Louis.
Yeah, for sure.
Our rivalry is definitely real, so that's good.
Yeah,
I definitely hate St. Louis and everything about it.
We
played horribly.
Yes.
Our lineup was weird.
Yes.
Pulsecamp's not good enough to be our starting goalkeeper. I didn't take notes on this game, so I'm just scrolling through the summary trying to remember the things I thought during this game.
Sure.
Jake Davis looked good. No surprise there. So did Basong, to be fair. Basong has looked really good.
I've really liked Basong in the midfield. Yeah.
Yeah.
This lineup very much felt like a 2025 audition tape.
Yeah.
This was very much, all right, who's actually going to be here? And then we got to the second half, and then Peter subbed in all the front three because we were losing, and he didn't want to lose to St. Louis on top of everything else.
Yeah, well, we were only down 1-0 at that point, I think, depending on when was subs. Were they at halftime?
No, I think it was. I can't remember. Hang on.
Yeah, I'm scrolling through right now.
It's loading.
Ndembe, 58th minute. Yeah, so it was right after the second goal. Is when we started subbing. Kyrie and Ndembe.
The front three didn't come on until after the third goal, though.
Yeah.
It was 3-1 at that point.
Yeah, you're right. 78th minute. It was right after the third goal.
Russell
3-1 at that point. It just seems like a weird. Like, why bring him on now?
Right. Yeah, at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah, give them 10 minutes to do any.
Yeah.
What are they going to do? Score 2 goals in 10 minutes?
Yeah.
We can't do that.
I don't know. It just seemed like a weak game. It just didn't seem great. I over the last few games that he's played have not been impressed with Paul's camp. He's made lots of little mistakes that you shouldn't be making at this level. We got the win in his last game against Colorado, but the goal that he gave up was just poor goalkeeping. So I don't know. I haven't been super happy with that. I'm hoping that was just a little, because he hasn't been playing a lot lately. So maybe that kind of stuff goes away, but I don't know.
Yeah. I
don't know. I don't really have a whole lot on this game. It was just annoying and not fun to watch.
Yeah, no, and like I had COVID over the weekend, so Saturday night I had COVID and I was absolutely dead. So I barely paid attention to this game anyway. So
yeah. I wanted to watch this game on my computer set up downstairs so I could take notes. Last minute, I decided no. We had been watching Big Brother all day, our family show. I was like, no, I'll keep watching Big Brother up here. I'll bring a second TV up and I'll watch it. I don't really need the audio. The audio is usually annoying anyway. Although it was Taylor Twellman, so I'm bummed that I love Taylor Twellman. So
that's Taylor Twellman.
About 10 minutes into the game, I was like, okay, I think I made the right decision here. And then by halftime, I was like, I don't even want to watch the second half. Like, I know what's going to happen in the second half. I don't even want to watch it. So,
yeah, there was no reason to believe at any point that we were going to win that game.
But now, fortunately, our schedule eases up a little bit. Now we have 2 games left, and it's against LAFC and FC Dallas.
Yeah.
At least FC Dallas is. Maybe we can keep them out of the playoffs.
Sure. FC Dallas?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
They're in 10th, so maybe when it comes down, it'll be we need to win and get in, and we can beat them and keep them out of the playoffs. That'll be the only thing.
They're 8 points out of a playoff spot. I would find it very unlikely that they're going to be competing for a playoff spot on D-Day.
Yeah, that's
right. It's very possible.
Well, actually, that may not be mathematically possible because they probably also only have.
They have 3 games left.
They have 3 games left, so they could get 9 points. So it is possible.
They're not eliminated yet. They might be after tonight.
Yeah.
Because the rest of the league plays tonight except for us.
Okay. Well, I don't know. All right. Well, do you have an MVP?
No.
I don't really either. I'm going to give it to Tim Melia.
Sure.
He actually played really well in that Open Cup game. He made several huge saves.
Yeah. Kyrie Shelton, you deserve it.
That's another good one because honestly, he played really well in that game.
Yeah.
Those are 2 guys that played really well. So
yeah,
give it to him. Tommy, great goal.
Sure.
To be fair, that was a great goal. So
it was.
MVP, yeah.
Yeah. Everybody else.
Yeah, pretty much. So our season, I don't know.
Yeah, it's just such a it's such a loss at this point.
Yeah.
I'm so sick of just pointing around and be like, what's the problem? And nobody ever knows.
Yeah.
So.
But 2 more games. That's all we got.
Yeah, thank goodness.
2 more games.
Yeah.
Probably at least 1 loss in there. We do play LAFC again, so.
I think it's optimistic to think it's only 1.
Yeah, true. All right. Well, let's move on to our winning Kansas City team.
Woot.
The Kansas City Current, well, I say winning, they did draw this last weekend to the Gotham FC.
Yeah.
Kind of an unfortunate draw. Would have been nice to get a win there.
Yeah, it would have been helpful. But they're still going to the playoffs.
Yep.
So
yep. Already in the playoffs.
Already better than us.
Already made the playoffs. They are trying to do quick math here. 11 points out of first place. With how many games they have left? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 left. They got 5 games left. So
yeah,
I don't know. Hopefully they can keep going. They do play Louisville this upcoming weekend. Louisville currently sits Racing Louisville middle of the pack. They are 4, 5, 6, 7, 8th, 9th. They're in 9th. They have like almost half the amount of points we have though. So
nice.
This should be a win. They have half the wins. They are 6, 7, 9 with a goal differential of 0. We of course have a goal differential of +18.
There you go.
which is third, believe it or not.
Right.
Orlando Pride plus 27.
Yeah, that's pretty wild.
That's insane. Is anybody in the MLS that high? Yep.
Yeah,
Columbus Crew plus 27. I Inter Miami plus 24. That's it though.
Yeah.
So interesting.
Yeah.
So anyway, hopefully Current can keep winning into the playoffs here and get a championship on our home field. Why not?
That'd be nice.
All right. Well, that's Current Corner for this week. Yay.
Woo.
Best of the rest. We didn't make the playoffs, so who cares?
Only thing I will note is that Miami does have a chance to clinch the Shield tonight. Excuse me. Sorry.
They do, yeah.
Yeah, if they win against Columbus, they will take home the Shield this year. So,
which they are not going to do. So,
you never know.
Yeah, you never know. That'd be a great game, though. I might have to turn that on the side.
That might be a good game. Yeah, it could be really good.
All right, well, let's get good, bad, and ugly out of the way so we can go to bed or do whatever we feel like doing. Go ahead and hit me with your good.
My good is that there's only 2 games left in the season, and hopefully we're going to rebuild. Woo!
Love that. I could find nothing good about Sporting Kansas City soccer, so my good is that the Royals made the playoffs and won our first wild card game and are going to win the second one tonight and continue advancing. So my good goes to the Royals.
There you go. I love it.
All right, hit me with your bad.
My bad is that we lost to St. Louis, and like the one game we had left to care about, we lost.
Yeah. Agreed. That's also my bad. Losing to the fried raviolis is always bad. So
yeah,
I don't like that.
Yeah. Do you want to take a guess what my ugly is?
Is it the same thing?
No, it's losing to LAFC, and literally the only thing we have this year.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. For my ugly, I changed ugly to unfortunate.
Okay.
And it is unfortunate Current's draw with Gotham City. That would have been a good one to win. I don't want to say it's ugly because it's still a point, and we are still in good position. We're in the playoffs, all that.
Right.
So not really ugly, just more unfortunate. Would have been nice to get 3 there.
Yeah, it would have been.
Get 3 points. We would have pulled ahead of them in the standings. Would have been nice.
Yeah, it would have been.
Is what it is. We're still in good spot.
Yeah.
All right, next week, this Saturday, we play LAFC. Is it at home? I don't even remember.
No, it's in LA again.
Yay! Huzzah! I'm going to go ahead and assume that you will not be staying up for that entire game.
No. The game might be at home, actually. I think that's our last home game.
I think that's what I was thinking, too.
Because I know D-Day is on the road.
October 5th. Will this freaking load? There we go. Okay. Where does it say? Home. Children's Mercy. Yep, that one isn't home.
Okay. So, yeah, last home game, and then D-Day is on the road.
Cool. Should we even bother with predictions, or do we both agree we're going to lose this game probably?
Yeah, we're losing like 4-1.
Yeah, that's a 3-1 is what I was going to say. So I don't know if we're going to have a full starting lineup for this one.
I don't.
I assume we probably a normal starting lineup. Obviously, it'll be full, but
we only put 4 guys on. The field.
We just put like 5 out there, and they're all SKC 2 guys, and we're like, do what you can.
Yeah, good luck. You want a job next year?
Yeah,
do your best.
They're gonna call me and be like, "Do you still live in town? You want to play goalie?" I live in Colorado. I can't do it. Oh, darn it.
Yeah, like you would say that.
Yeah, no, I'd be there. Yeah, for sure.
Feel like, yeah, I live there in 10 hours. I now live there.
I'll be there.
Yes.
No problem. No problem.
Yeah.
No, I'll pay for gas. It's not a problem. I don't need to be paid either. That's fine. Can I have a jersey? Can I keep the jersey? Yeah. So
exactly.
probably 3-1 would be my guess there. So
yeah, I'll take 4-1. Listen, guys, we've checked out. Like we're done. This season's just awful.
Yeah.
Nothing left to care about.
It'll be a rough end of the season. Maybe we'll get lucky and pull off some wins. Doubt it, but I would like the opportunity to keep Dallas out of the playoffs. That'd be cool.
That would be cool. Yeah, that would be nice.
Maybe we'll have that. Unlikely, but
it is unlikely. But if we could go into today with the chance to spoil somebody's season, that would be real nice. Especially Dallas. Exactly. I would have preferred to have spoiled Minnesota's season. Actually, what I would have preferred is to be the reason that St. Louis got knocked out of the playoff while beating them.
Mm-hmm.
They did end up getting eliminated from playoff contention anyway after that night, but I still would have preferred to have been the one to have done it.
Yeah, that would have been cool. But what are you going to do?
Yeah.
All right. Well, you got anything else?
There's nothing else.
I also have nothing else.
I love it.
All right. Well, you guys can catch us here on YouTube if you're already watching on YouTube. We also stream on the Fired Up Network on True TV app, the app that you can get on Amazon App Store, Roku, and Apple TV. Streaming Thursday nights, plays throughout the week. Yeah, the rest of our links are down below in the description. YouTube, all of our Twitters, our Gmail. If you want to send us a Gmail, the Spotify link is in there too. If you could also click like on the video. I don't care about that as much, but if you could click subscribe, that would greatly help us out for sure. More subscribers helps push us to more people. So
that it does.
Awesome. Logan, I appreciate you as always.
I appreciate you, Steve.
Let's go Royals. Everybody have a good week.
See you, everybody.